Who no know say now you be one mama one mama oh. Come on, let's do it now. My Bamenda my fine baby. My Bamenda my sweet mama. Let me tell you something about this, my sweet mama. The only woman who give it me to grow and make me a man. Thank you, for the love you showed me. Without you, my Bamenda, I nobody existed. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon like Africa in the one leg. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. Some people say you too small to change the country. Others say you no big good for make things work. But just a name in this country, people them they shiver. The way we are picking them, they also people them they wonder. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon like Africa in the one leg. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. My brothers and sisters all over the world, whatever you do, always think about your home. It's a place where you will come back some days. Let's clean it up, let's build it love. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon like Africa in the one leg. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. All the hard-working sons and daughters of this great northwest region of Cameroon, I want you to stand up and dance, because the time has come when we have to put our heads and hands together in order to build this our lovely and only region. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon like Africa in the one leg. Who no know say now you be the best. Who no know say now you be one mama one mama oh. Come on, let's do it now. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda. Bamenda, I know for the exist. Thank you, my Bamenda, thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama, for the strength you set for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. Some people say you too small to change the country. Others say you're not big good for making things work. But just a name in this country, people them they shiver. The way we are picking them, they also people them they wonder. Thank you, my Bamenda, thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama, for the strength you set for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. My brothers and sisters all over the world, whatever you do, always think about your home. It's a place where you will come back some days. Let's clean it up, let's build it, love. Thank you, my Bamenda, thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama, for the strength you set for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. All the hard-working sons and daughters of this great northwest region of Cameroon, I want you to stand up and dance, because the time has come when we have to put our heads and hands together in order to build this our lovely and only region. For your children, I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land.
Tu ne connais pas danser le sasingal.
Your own dombole.
Mama Talaku. Una should not for down. If you come on Cameroon, I don't know for dance sasingal.
Your own no finish.
Mama Deli. Hey. If you come on Tabikomo, I don't know for dance sasingal.
Your own no teme.
Woi yamo.
Sasingala oh sasingala. Sasingala oh sasingala. Sasingala oh sasingala. Sasingala oh sasingala oh sasingala oh sasingala oh.
Young Slim Sanga.
Yamma charges you when man there for your corner. Cover not there for pocket. You come up for sour, enter for corn. You want show them men them day.
Eze buru buru.
You buy one casier, you can buy 10.
Fabukuno.
What's your profit a man to get
girls picking them. Una wake up for all. Time don't reach, me go show us style. Sasingala, Sasingala,
Aleppo, Sasingala, now we bring her from Aleppo. I say the one na dance for Aleppo. Sasingala, now we bring her for Aleppo. Aleppo, now for Aleppo. Sasingala, now we bring her for Aleppo. I say the one na dance for Aleppo. Sasingala, now we bring her for Aleppo. Aleppo, now for Aleppo. Si tu viens d'Afrique et tu ne connais pas danser le Sasingala, y'a un dombole,
no one Alex in Kim.
if you come to Cameroon, I don't know for dance Sasingala, y'a un no finish.
Bobe chung when bring what you say.
If you come to Bicombo, I don't know for dance Sasingala, y'a un no teme. Oui, yamo Sasingala, oh Sasingala, Sasingala, oh Sasingala, Sasingala, oh Sasingala, Sasingala, oh Sasingala, oh Sasingala, oh Sasingala,
Tana bobe tomo matin.
oh man for straight line,
Yes sir,
oh man for straight line,
yes sir.
ekate, 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 ekate,
Ekate.
tout le monde a d'attention. Face forward. Astanda is Rebo. Ekate, ekate,
Ekate.
ekate, ekate.
Ekate. Who's the master Evo?
You know banana idealio. You know sasa idealio. You know banana idealio. You know sasa idealio.
Concrete to the Lion King. Moustique le charismatique.
C'est pour vous, on va danser.
National vétéran États-Unis.
Sasingala m'a touché. C'est pour vous, on va danser.
Bamenda Boys États-Unis.
Jara, Jara, oh, Nanjara,
Hakim Makoulé.
Nanjara, Nanjara,
Sango Moni.
Nanjara, Nanjara, Nanjara,
Don't find Victor Wenger. Tana Bobe Joe Nicolas.
Mambale Tamuti munangalogo Tamuti munangalogo Bieyo korongko bieyo njang Bieyo korongko bieyo njang Futu fubu kambinte krek 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 chofuno kato Atatu bola maten songono ya Atatu bola maten songono ya Boyo boronko boyo njang boyo boroko boyo jang futu fubo kambente krek 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 tofuno kato Kogu bange isinyang fone kolenji induo logo fa mo ayayo ujwa bien kolan tomokon logo fa
fubu kambinte kruk 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 chofunu kato Atatu bola maten songono ya Atatu bola maten songono ya Boyo boronko boyo njang Boyo boronko boyo njang Futu fubu kambinte kruk 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 chofunu kato Fukam tomo ule bi kweni shiwilingume Fukame Fukam tomo ule bi kweni shiwilingume Fukame Mafongwa bifue Kogu mbange Isinyang fone Kolenji induo Logo fa mo Ayayo Ujwa gubye Kolen tomokong Logo fa mo Ayayo Ujwa gubye
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to ABS News Talk, coming to you from the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas, to be precise. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you joining from Bamenda, I was all with you today, beginning about 4 p.m. That is my time here. 4 p.m. here in Texas is around 9 a.m. on ground zero. So beginning 3 p.m. here in Texas, I was up with you monitoring developments in Bamenda, or the event in Bamenda with the Pope. And the event rounded up about an hour or so, 2 hours ago. And I am back with you to give you my take and to have my panel have a conversation on what took place in Bamenda. So that will be the main subject of this discussion tonight. Again, please, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stay put. This is going to be very, very exciting. So please, don't touch your remote. I will be back in less than a minute. Stay put.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once more, thanks for joining me today from Houston, Texas. I'd like to welcome all of you, particularly if you are on ground zero. I'd like to appreciate you for coming in, and I look forward to receiving your phone calls tonight to find out what you think about the Pope's visit in Bamenda today. If you are joining by way of Facebook, go ahead and hit your share button, grow the platform, even though very few people seem to be watching on Facebook nowadays. But YouTube, thank you. If you are watching by way of YouTube, make sure that you hit the bell and the subscribe button so that every moment, any time that we are live, you can receive notifications to join us. Again, I thank you for joining tonight. I will be taking you particularly to Bamenda, where a big event, a historical event in that matter, took place in Bamenda today with the Pope's visit. I am going to bring you the narrative, the news story and the analysis, the story of what happened and the analysis the way I saw it. And my panel will be joining to also do justice on that story. But before I take you to Bamenda, you will all recall that before the coming of the Pope, Bamenda was essentially whitewash. New bridges, new streets, new roads, widened streets, and that construction is still going on as I come to you. I guess it was kind of suspended today because of the Pope's coming. But when it is done tomorrow, the caterpillars, the bulldozers, the graders, they will still all be out there on the streets of Bamenda repairing them. That is the good news of the Pope's coming to Bamenda. And so, I show you something here of, I don't know what part of Bamenda is this. I don't know what part of Bamenda is this, but you can see the street of Bamenda refurbished, looking like a better place. Like the Bamenda I knew in the 1980s. In the 1980s all the way to the early or mid 1990s. It looks like that. Take a look, please. All right, somebody visiting Bamenda sent this footage to me, and it was quite interesting. All over the streets, you find the colonial flag all over the place, all over Bamenda. La République du Cameroon, I think, I saw Atanganji, I saw Philemon Yang, I mean all those guys. I saw all of them, Porterson. In Bamenda, they were looking at the decorations there. I think they were probably very excited that La République flag was still hanging all over Bamenda. But that is the picture that you have in Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen. We will be doing some special documentary in Bamenda in about a month's time after I believe they would have completed all the work they are doing there today, so that we can know exactly what was done in Bamenda because of the Pope. Because of the Pope. So if there is nothing in Bamenda to thank God for, if you can't even thank the Pope for coming, you have one good reason to thank the Pope for. At least the streets, the roads, the decors that we find everywhere in Bamenda. I just hope they can be maintained. And I hope they are durable, because sometimes these contractors, they go there, they put a slap upon nothing and give it 1 month, it peels off. I heard the colonial mayor of Bamenda telling the civilians to take care of the roads. Take care of the roads, as if he has given them a budget with which to take care of the roads. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting your time, I have a little long monologue which has to do with what transpired in Bamenda today. I like to bring that to you, and after I bring that to you, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring in my my panel to do justice on the subject of the day, as you find on your screen. It was a very historic day in Bamenda today. Pope Leo XIV arrived in Bamenda in the late morning today, stepping into a city that has long existed in the shadows of conflict, but on this day stood fully exposed before the world. It was not just another stop on his Cameroon itinerary. It was a deliberate entry into a region defined by years of bloodshed, displacement, and unresolved political conflict. His plane touched down at Bamenda Albert Mokong Airport at exactly 11 a.m. From there, the program moved with precision onward to St. Joseph's Cathedral, Bamenda Big Mancon, for what they described as a peace meeting, and then later back to the airport grounds for an open-air mass before his scheduled departure at 5:25 p.m. The timetable was tight, the symbolism also overwhelming. At the airport, the reception was anything but ordinary. Bamenda appeared suspended between tension and release. Reports described a city on edge, yet alive with expectation. Loudspeakers played music, crowds gathered in large numbers. The welcome was described as raucous, carrying the energy of a public festival rather than a formal state reception. Yet, beneath that surface was something more fragile and more telling. For a brief window, the violence that had defined daily life in all of Ambazonia receded, not resolved, not ended, but paused. It was a silence shaped not by peace, but by visibility. The presence of the Pope and the International Press Corps that followed him had temporarily altered the calculus on the ground. Before proceeding into town, the Pope met with local authorities at the airport, signaling early that this visit was as much civic and political as it was spiritual. Bamenda was not being approached as a purely religious destination. It was being acknowledged as a contested space. Inside the St. Joseph Cathedral, the tone shifted dramatically. The celebration of arrival gave way to the weight of testimony. Accompanied by Andrew Nke, Archbishop of Bamenda, the Pope entered after a brief moment of prayer. The ceremony that followed was structured, deliberate, but hardly inclusive. A cross-section of voices addressed the Pope. Traditional authority represented by Fon and Waffle, they fought. The Protestant leadership through Funky Samuel Foba, and the Muslim community through Imam Muhammad Abubakar, the Imam of Boya. Religious life through Sister Karin Tangiri Mangu, and finally, the lived experience of conflict through an internally displaced family. They all spoke. It was a montage designed to reflect unity amid fragmentation. Each speaker, in turn, described aspects of suffering, disrupted education, displacement, the erosion of normal life. The framing emphasized the human cost of instability while presenting a shared desire for peace. The message, collectively, was one of endurance. When the Pope spoke, he built on that framework, but extended it. He acknowledged that Bamenda had endured profound suffering, yet insisted that the community had not lost its moral direction. The Pope described the people as having remained on the path of goodness, even as circumstances tested their resilience. Drawing on scriptural imagery, first introduced earlier by the Bamenda Archbishop Nke, as a city on a hill, meaning that its struggle was now visible to the world. But his message did not remain within the language of encouragement. It sharpened, and I quote him, "Woe, woe," he said, "to those who manipulate religion and the very name of God for their own military, for their economic and political gain," the Pope said, introducing a tone that moved beyond pastoral reassurance into moral warning to La République du Cameroon. By early afternoon, attention shifted back to Bamenda Airport, where preparations for the Mass had drawn a massive crowd. Estimates place attendance at the Bamenda Airport at 20,000 people, transforming the airport into a vast open-air congregation. The atmosphere was unmistakably jubilant. The Pope's passage through the crowd in the Pope Mobile triggered waves of celebration, cheers, songs, gestures of devotion. It was a moment of visible unity, a rare gathering that cut across divisions and hardships. Yet, once again, the tone of the homily contrasted with the outward joy. The Pope spoke directly to structural challenges, food insecurity, institutional weakness, the strain on education and health care, and the migration of young people seeking opportunities elsewhere. He framed these not as isolated problems, but as interconnected symptoms of deeper systemic failures. He also widened the scope beyond national borders. Those who rob your land, he said, of its resources generally invest much of the profit in weapons, the Pope said, linking local instability to global patterns of exploitation. The masters of war pretend not to know that it takes only a moment to destroy. Yet, often, a lifetime is not enough to rebuild. End of quote. The message escalated further. The Pope added, they turn a blind eye to the fact that billions of dollars are spent on killing and devastation. Yet, the resources, he added, needed for healing, education, and restoration are nowhere to be found. And then, his closing call, and I quote, "The time has come," he said, "now and not tomorrow, to restore the mosaic of unity." End of quote. As the Pope departed Bamenda at 5:25 p.m. today, the day's events left behind a transformed atmosphere. The airport, which had served as both entry point and gathering ground, became a symbol of something larger, a space where a region often defined by conflict, by war, had, for a moment, asserted its presence on the global stage through the presence of international media. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what unfolded in Bamenda was not merely a visit, it was a test of whether a people long silence would use a rare global spotlight to tell their full story, or whether that story would be filtered before it reached the Pope and the world. Take note that for years, all of Amazonia has existed behind controlled narratives, access limited, reporting constrained, the conflict framed in narrow, often convenient terms. The arrival of the Pope disrupted that pattern. With international media present in significant numbers, this was a rare opportunity to present an unfiltered account of reality. But did that happen? Did that happen? What emerged inside the cathedral suggested something more complicated. The structure of the event, the selection of the speakers, and the consistency of messaging pointed towards a carefully managed narrative. The conflict was repeatedly framed in generalized terms, words like violence, instability, disruption, without a deeper exploration of its political and institutional dimensions. The absence was striking. Key elements of the conflict, like detentions, state violence, state murders, the broader architecture of power, remained largely unaddressed, not by Archbishop Nke, nor by any of their appointed speakers. The result was a presentation that emphasized suffering, but did not fully interrogate its causes. This matters, ladies and gentlemen, because in conflicts of this nature, narrative should not be neutral as they try to present it. It shapes perception. It influences response. It determines whether the international community engages with complexity or settles for simplified solutions. However, what the Pope did in contrast was to expand that narrative. His intervention introduced layers that had been muted. By condemning the manipulation of religion, he addressed the misuse of moral authority in Yaoundé. By speaking of resource exploitation, he connected local conflicts to global systems. By highlighting the imbalance between spending on war and investment in recovery, he indicted Yaoundé. In doing so, he shifted the frame. The contrast was not subtle. Where local speakers leaned towards caution, the Pope's language introduced clarity and forcefulness. Where the narrative risked becoming narrow, the Pope widened it. Where responsibility risked being diffused, the Pope sharpened it. At the same time, The day revealed the limits of symbolic moments. Visibility, while powerful, is temporary. The presence of cameras alters behavior, but only briefly. The silence of guns during the visit was not peace, it was pause. The challenge lies in what follows. Will the issues raised, both explicitly and implicitly, translate into sustained attention? Will the broader narratives introduced by the Pope influence how the conflict is understood internationally or resolved? Or will Bamenda and Ambazonia return to its previous state, visible only in fragments, its story shaped by forces, both internal and external? These questions remain open. What is clear, however, ladies and gentlemen, is that the visit has altered the narrative landscape, even if only temporarily. It has introduced new language, new points of reference, and new expectations. And perhaps, most importantly, it has demonstrated that the story of Ambazonia cannot be fully told within controlled boundaries. It resists simplification. It demands depth. And when given even a narrow opening, it pushes beyond the limits imposed upon it. That is the significance of this moment, the significance of the Pope being in Bamenda. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my talking point. I will now bring in my guests joining me from all over the place. I have with me here, if you guys can adjust your, comrade George, adjust your camera so that you can, more of your skin can be visible in camera. So I'd like to thank all of you again for joining today. It's a pleasure to have you here. Comrade George, welcome again, sir. You need to kind of zoom your camera out so that it's not cutting you from your head. All right, let me see. Comrade Patrick, it's a pleasure again having you, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here again today to talk to the people about what has transpired in Ambazonia today.
Wonderful. We are also being joined by Mike Fusi. Mike, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, Comrade Chris. Good afternoon, Comrade Patrick. It's good to be here. It's good to be here on this very memorable day.
All right. And we also have with us tonight Dr. Ngwambe. Dr. Ngwambe is joining from California. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. Dr. Ngwambe, it doesn't appear like we are hearing you. It's a pleasure to have you. I think you are muted at your end. We cannot hear you. All right, let me start with others. Mike, let me start with you, sir. I believe you watched at least the Pope's speech and that of Archbishop Nke and the other invitees who spoke at that occasion. Before we get to that, let me make this very clear. Ladies and gentlemen. I was highly disappointed by what I heard from Archbishop Nke and the kind of people they picked to stand before that congregation and before those international cameras to speak. I want to believe that everybody who spoke in that place was chosen as representing the suffering people of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. But what I heard from every speaker in that hall except for the Pope was an indictment of a party against the order. Because I kept hearing some armed groups without names. Armed groups abducted me. Armed groups did this. Armed groups did that without naming the armed groups. I did not hear for the entire session of that meeting, so-called peace meeting, no prisoner was mentioned. Yet we have thousands of them. The Pope had time in Yaoundé to visit orphanages. He did not think of visiting or talking to a single prisoner, even if it just meant asking that they be brought to him. If the Pope had asked that a prisoner or some prisoners be brought to him, they would have brought it. Yaoundé would have done so. But look at all these presentations in Bamenda. There is no mention of a prisoner in Yaoundé. All we heard was how my family was abducted, how my family was displaced, how and so on and so forth. You listen to the chiefs, it was the same story. You listen to the Muslim imam, it was a story of, some armed groups, as they put it, against Mbororo people in Sabga, as they put it. The narrative was killed. It was killed, ladies and gentlemen. If it was an opportunity to sell Bazonia's narrative, then the Archbishop of Bamenda failed. He failed by putting a slanted story before the Pope. But again, the good thing is this: the Pope did not slant anything. He spoke forcefully and authoritatively to power. But that is the point I wanted to make. Mike Fusi, I don't know if you have a different point.
I think you're very much on point, Comrade Chris. I must start by saying this. I believe that for those who thought about this idea of inviting the Pope within the government of La Republic of Cameroon must be kicking themselves from the behind why they went along with this project. Because what they thought would happen when the Pope was here was that the Pope would simply come in and enforce this notion of peace without accountability, without justice. That's what they were hoping. But the Pope, especially the Pope's speech when he arrived Yaoundé, it was like he came with a big stick and he was beating them on the heads while they were sitting right there, taking it and not being able to say a word. And I loved it. Like what you are saying, Comrade Chris, I don't think I would have expected anything but what we saw at the cathedral in Bamenda under the leadership of Archbishop Kia. I did not expect, because remember, this was an alliance between him and the government of La Republic of Cameroon to invite the Pope. Some pre-agreed arrangements on how this thing was going to be managed. I'm sure La Republic must have insisted that if we have to do this, then these conditions must be met. And that is what they did. But I must say here that I was one of those who was kind of ambivalent about the Pope's coming. But I must say that I'm pleasantly surprised at what I have heard so far, because it has put our struggle out there for the world to know that there is a conflict here that needs to be addressed. And the Pope spoke so eloquently about our situation and cut through the nonsense that they were trying to put before him. You remember there were some other staged presentations the day before, was it the day before or the day the Pope arrived, where some women and another one came out, and another man who had a bike were talking about the same thing like you're talking about. Oh, some armed groups adopted me, or we're tired of these kidnappings and rape and all the like. And no one was naming the culprits for those who are really responsible for this thing. Comrade Chris, let me just take you back memory lane a little bit to recount how this thing started. You remember when our people came out with peace plans in 2017? What happened? La Republic started with all this brutality. We saw our girls in the University of Boya and others in the northern zone who were forced to swim through sewage. They were forced to swim through sewage. Women, people were chased in their houses, beaten. Little girls, baby Martha, baby Caroline, shot in the head. Who was doing this? La Republic of Cameroon. We remember all the massacres. We remember Kwakwa. We remember Bali. We remember Santa. We remember all this in Gabu with mass graves of women and pregnant women killed and buried by La Republic of Cameroon. Who did all this? La Republic did it. Nobody who came out to speak mentioned any of these things because that is what was constructed. That's the way it was supposed to be. Then you remember the wickedness did not end there. They started breaking people's doors, looting property, killing domestic animals like pigs and goats, just slaughter them. Those that they could carry, they carried. The other ones they allowed to rot. They went into the farms and chopped down crops. You are not talking about the houses that were burnt, villages burnt, all of these. And then the savagery where some whose head was cut in public, was cut on camera. He said was cut. And we all saw the brutality that these people meted on our people. And then you are talking about the fact that La Republic's vindictiveness is as if it knows no bounds. When they kill someone, as if the act of killing is not enough. They kill you and then they undress, then you naked the person they have killed and leave his genitals outside. Remember what this, the psychological impact that this has on the population, Comrade Chris. Remember the psychological impact that this act alone, when you kill somebody, then you desecrate the body. That's what it means. You desecrate the body. And remember that there are children in the neighborhood, there are women in the neighborhood. Things like that are not supposed to be displayed in public, because no matter how much you hate somebody, when the person has died, it is normal in our culture that you give some respect to the corpse. But these people don't see that. To them, it means nothing. You have to naked the body and put it at the street corner. In public, person can see that not just the dead body, but the naked dead body. And children are passing there and seeing these things. Imagine the emotional trauma that our children have been growing with. Who taught them all that? La Republic of Cameroon taught them all that. They introduced this violence, and for people to go out there and talk about kidnapping and talk about all these things and neglect to talk about these massacres that have been committed by La Republic of Cameroon. And of course, again, and I'm not very surprised, but again, I'm very happy with what the Pope has said. I did not expect him to be that explicit. And the message is that we are, and I want to congratulate Ambazonians who spoke prior to this visit, all the activists out there who came out with messages demanding justice, and asking that what we need was justice and not just prayers and sermons. And I think the Pope, his messages got to the Pope, and he responded positively, despite all the smoke screen that all these people put in his path and thought that he was going to buy it. The Pope looked at it and laughed at them and called it as he saw it. And that's one thing with these people, Comrade Chris. They think that the Pope is not aware of what is going on. He has just called them in their faces. He called them idiots. You think I'm ignorant of what is going here? I know what is going here, what has been here, and I call it as I see it. And that is exactly what he did. And I'm really very happy that he has exposed La Republica. La Republica cannot be proud of what the Pope has said. And we'll go into the details of the Pope's speech later on. But let me allow my colleagues to come in and give their own views of what is out there.
Right. Comrade Patrick, when we had this show yesterday, I was very much willing to give the Archbishop in Bamenda the benefit of the doubt, considering the tone that the Pope had already said from Yaoundé. You were also trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know whether you still have those opinions that you shared yesterday.
Okay, finally, it's working.
Yes, Comrade Chris, thank you so much, Chairman Mike and the co-panelists here. I just want to say I still have so much to appreciate the fact that we had Amazonians coming up to speak about what is going on. We might have a different opinion for the fact that they did not indict La Republique. At the end of the day, just the fact that the Pope was there, the international media now understand that there is a problem. Something is going on there. People are suffering. They created the humanitarian aspect of the struggle, the humanitarian aspect of what is going on in that side of the country. That is what the message was all supposed to entail, so that everybody's going. If any journalist was from Germany, let's take for example, was there in Bamenda, and they heard what people were saying, the next thing they are going to do is come back and ask, why are these things happening? So that is just like a tips of the iceberg. Like we said yesterday, what is being talked about in the background is not what we saw out there. Archbishop Kia and all the other speakers, they are in the lion's den. They are living with a terrorist, a brutal regime. We have seen with our own eyes, how many clergymen from Manfe and other parts of Amazonia that have been killed by La Republique because they even spoke up, or they were even trying to shield people that were suffering. So we cannot think that these people do not understand, they are not human, to be scared to even speak up at a certain level. Yes, they were in the midst of the Pope, but the Pope will be gone tomorrow. These people will still be living in that territory. Archbishop Kia did what he understands as a clergyman and a politician. Because when you get to a certain level in this religious authorities, you become a political figure, even though you are using religion to educate and guide people to salvation. But we know he did what he was supposed to do. They gathered people to just put the message out there that there is a problem that needs a solution. Everybody's going to be questioning, what is this problem? The Pope understood. The Pope understands what is going on in Amazonia. He was not there to even listen to those guys. Even most of his entourage.
No. I think you are wrong. You are wrong, Patrick. The Pope was giving those speeches, the speech by the phone. Every speaker who spoke there, the Pope had read through those speeches before writing his own speech. If you saw him referring to what each of the speakers said, you can tell he had those speeches ahead of time. So it's not like they didn't know what they were going to say.
That is true. We understand that. But the Pope, before he came to Amazonia, he already understood that there was a problem. He did not just choose Amazonia by chance. That is not the most beautiful part of that country that he could visit. And I don't think the population of the Catholic population in Amazonia is the biggest in that country. I know the Betwa has a good population of Catholic Christians, but he chose Bamenda, he chose Amazonia because of what is going on down there. So all what was said there was just bringing out what the problem is, why they want a solution to the problem that is going on. And I'm sure the Pope, like Comrade Mike said, those who invited the Pope, even Atagaji, if you saw his face sitting there, he was just about to cry. Those guys are so ashamed when they listen to the moral authority giving them guidance on what they are supposed to do, why they are not doing the right thing for the people of Cameroon and Bazonia as a whole, those guys were so ashamed. So with them coming down there,
Do
first
you
of all,
think
why
they were
was the
so
president
ashamed?
or the prime minister not down there?
You really think those guys were really ashamed?
Oh yeah, I think everybody has a conscience. They might not make any difference because they themselves are looking for what they want to eat tomorrow, but they are feeling the pain of what the Pope has said between Yaoundé and Bamenda. At one point that we met yesterday, the Pope spoke in Bamenda in English. What is the message he's sending out? There are two different countries. They might be divided with other cultures and everything, but he is in two different countries. So this message is very, very deep if you want to look at it diplomatically.
All right. Let's go to George. George, you were the one most skeptical of what Nke could do yesterday. Tell us what you think, having observed what transpired today in Bamenda.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I watched the meeting live and I was highly disappointed. Before I say what I want to say, Mr. Patrick said that Archbishop Kia is a political figure. You have just confirmed it. And bishops are not supposed to be political figures. They are not supposed to be partisan. But from the way Archbishop Kia spoke today, it was clear to us that this man is a CPDM, political acolyte. He did not mention the cause of the problem we have been going through in the southern part of Cameroon. He did not mention the marginalization, prisoners who are still in prison, no mention of that. He was just crying. Why is he crying only now in front of the Pope? Why did he not cry in 2016 when they wrote a letter to Biya and Biya ignored the letter? I expected Archbishop Kia to use this opportunity to table the problem. What is the Anglophone problem? But that was not done. All those speakers who came, they were talking about people arresting them and taking ransom. None of them mentioned the military, the regime.
Yeah.
None of them mentioned it. They were just calling names as if everything's been done by the separatist fighters, you know. That was not good at all. I expected Archbishop Kia to use this medium to table the Anglophone problem, which they had written already in 2016. And I have it right here in front of me. What is the Anglophone problem? Mr. Patrick mentioned that just by having that meeting, people are going to go further to ask what the problem is. No, he was supposed to use that opportunity to table the Anglophone problem. So all the cosmetic ceremony outside the cathedral, giving the Pope a dove to throw as a sign of peace, there can never be peace without justice. The problem is injustice, which Nkia did not mention in his letter, in his speech, sorry. So what is the Anglophone problem? The failure of successive governments of Cameroon since 1961 to respect and implement the articles of the Constitution that uphold and safeguard what British Southern Cameroons brought along to the Union in 1961. That's the first problem.
You see, hold on there, comrade. I wasn't really expecting Nke to say, hey, our people are being killed here. There was never, there was annexation or marginalization or Article 16 or what, all those things. I wasn't expecting that from him as a clergy. But I expected him to say in that address, our people are being killed on a daily basis. Women cannot go to bed with their children anymore. Women cannot go shopping anymore. Farmers cannot go to the farm anymore. Children cannot go to school anymore because this city has been militarized by the regime in Yaoundé. Yes, there are atrocities by Amazonian fighters. Quote that one too. Put the problem starkly as it is. That is not what he did. Every one of them presented Amazonia as a terrible thing. A terrible thing. That was the problem.
No, you're very right, Mr. Chris. You're very right. I'm going back to what I told you now. Why is there all this suffering because of a problem? There is a problem, the Anglophone problem. I expected him to state it there in that occasion. If we are coming to discuss about peace to try to solve the problem, and we don't even talk about the problem, how are we going to get to the peace? What was the need of all this dove? Giving the Pope a dove to manifest that, are they manifesting that the peace is coming or that the peace has come? I expected that meeting to be a meeting of diagnosing the problem, stating the problem. No, you, Mr. Chris, you mentioned that the bishops, you don't expect the bishops to say that. No, the bishop had written that already in their memorandum in 2016. That was an occasion to reiterate that memorandum, which Pope ignored. And that is why we are where we are, because the memorandum was ignored. Until today, they're still fighting. The military is killing our people, which was not mentioned. We have been marginalized. Inkia did not mention it. So why was he crying? Why was he weeping conspicuously? That was unnecessary. The Weber say, oh, I'm so, we have been suffering for so many years. Now, yes, we have been suffering for so many years. What have you done as an archbishop? You are the very one who received a medal from the BR regime who has been killing your people. Does it make sense, Mr. Chris? Why did he receive the medal?
You know, for one, I thought I was the only one who thought he was at a point in time mimicking some emotions there. I didn't know. So you realize that too, that you almost cried at a point.
He almost cried, and that's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Why is he crying in front of the Pope? I said, have we ever seen him cry in front of Pope here and the regime? He's not speaking on behalf of the people. Today he's with the Pope, he's different. Tomorrow he's with the regime, he's different. He's a politician, and that's what Mr. Patrick has confirmed today. Yesterday you guys were trying to oppose what I was saying about Archbishop Nkia, but today it was confirmed. Archbishop Nkia is a politician.
Let me go to Dr. Ngwembe joining from California. Dr. Ngwembe, you observe all of this. Give us your take on what you saw, sir.
First, let me extend greetings to you, Comrade Chris, and to my fellow panelists, Comrade George, Comrade Patrick, who I watched yesterday. You all had a very informative and enlightening outing yesterday, and also greetings to my brother, Comrade Mike. So, I mean, Comrade Chris, I believe there's a Turkish saying that says that if you speak the truth, you need to have your foot in the stirrup, meaning that you need to be ready to dash away, or at the least be able to defend yourself. And we understand the environment that Archbishop Nkia and our fellow Ambazonians, and even you, Comrade Chris, and all of us who have experienced that country and ended up having to come to the U.S. and all the other things like that, we understand what's going on in that country. So, and as my brother, Comrade George has pointed out, there was a very detailed write-up from the archbishops of Ambazonian descent, where they wrote everything. And I'm very sure that I've read through it, and they know it. Archbishop Nkia and the rest of the archbishops, they know it. Comrade Chris, Archbishop Nkia was on your program last week, talking about this very memorandum, and he said how that thing put him in problems. So I think they are just trying to manage the situation to the unfortunate best of their capability. As much as we want our brothers and sisters to be able to stand up and speak truth to power, yes, I want that. But I also have a lot of sympathy for them in the situation that they find themselves in. And these are not the first set of Catholic priests who have had to deal with a brutal dictatorship. When the Catholic priests in Europe were dealing with dictator dictator Hitler, Adolf Hitler of Germany, in those 1940s years like that, so they were accused of being complicit with the Third Reich, with the Nazis. And some Catholic priests hid people, some of them hid Jews, they did all types of things, and some of them were accused of being complicit with them. That's just an unfortunate situation that, when you're in the midst of a dictatorship, a brutal dictatorship at that, that's unfortunately what happens. As a matter of fact, I would even go as far as to say, even those are people who spoke and they gave a one-sided statement from it. But for the most part, for me, I didn't take it as if they were speaking to me. In America we say a hit dog will holler. When they talked about armed men taking them, I didn't think they were talking about Ambazonians. They could have been talking about anyone. They could have been talking about Ambazonians. They could have been talking about La République du Cameroun insecurity forces, because those are also armed men. I know one person went a little bit further and said that they took them into the bush and were traveling, so that was kind of an insinuation that maybe Ambazonians. But a hit dog will holler. So I'm not going to be hollering about what that woman said, because armed groups can be anybody. But at the end of the day, the Pope knows what's going on, and I think.
You are right.
Let me
I don't have a problem at all with what those women and the man said. But if they had gotten some other witnesses to say, we have Ngarebu, which is a clear example of massacre. How about Bali? How about Samsoya, somebody has mentioned here? How about those stark examples that they would not bring somebody to talk about stuff like that?
Chris,
yes.
I believe that the Pope and his entourage, they are already aware of these things. But the challenge is the reality of the situation that these people are in.
Dr. Mumbi, listen, I understand the Pope knows everything. I have no doubt about that. How about the opportunity of releasing that information to the international media that has been blocked from entering Ambazonia, and you have that opportunity and you miss it?
Well, at the end of the day, Proverbs, I believe it's Proverbs 31, 8-9, says that speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. So we know that is there. Unfortunately, they did not take the opportunity to do that. It's the situation that they're in. Because look at what our people have gone through under the hands of dictator Ahidjo, the manipulation, the illegal 1972 referendum that was not supposed to be held, but they were not allowed to campaign against that. The last thing that I really wanted to state on this thing is that what was not said actually speaks louder than what was said. It really tells Pope Leo XIV, Your Eminence, when you see people not even able to speak about the whole truth, meaning they talk about the liberationist, restorationist side and the La République du Cameroun side, if they cannot even talk about the La République du Cameroun side, Your Eminence, the kind of country that you are in, you are seeing it for yourself, because what was not said speaks volumes. That is a country where political opponents are jailed. We saw what happened to Kamto, Your Eminence. Kamto tried to run. They jailed him. The other people that were jailed even after the elections, they stole the election from Fundi. The Pope, I think, he should be intelligent enough to recognize that what was not said speaks more about what La République du Cameroun is. That's what I think.
All of you hold your line of thought there. Let me bring in a freelance reporter on the ground who was at this event from start to finish. Hello, sir.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Yes, sir. It's good to hear your voice again. I guess you are still in Bamenda, or did you move with the Pope to Yaoundé?
I'm in Douala right now. We left and we just got to Douala.
How did you drove?
Yeah. Somehow I found myself in Douala.
The roads must be really good, huh?
Yeah, there are good things that are happening behind the scene. And for the records, there's some the airline is working, the Cameco. So
oh, did you travel to Bamenda by airline?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. How much did you pay?
No, I got accreditation through an international agency that accredited all those who travel with the Pope.
Okay, interesting. So tell me, I'm sure you've been listening for a while what we are debating here. The fact that there was an opportunity for the Archbishop of Bamenda and those they picked to testify at that occasion to tell the Pope and some of you from the international media that our children are being killed, our children are not going to school, our brothers, our sisters are languishing in jails in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Boya, in Bamenda, all over the place. They would have mentioned stuff like what happened in Ngaribu. They would have mentioned stuff like the assassination or murder of Sam Sawyer. I mean, you can name and name and name the killing, the murder, massacre in Bali, and so on. The people in Bamenda, the Catholic Church, led by Bishop Nke, did not. They chose a narrative that painted the victim as the perpetrators. I don't know whether this came across to you.
Correct, Comrade Chris. I think I listened very religiously to what Archbishop Kia spoke. You know, he spoke. If you know Archbishop very well, you know he's very, very good with words.
Yeah.
And he mentioned very clearly that there have been killings. There are so many widows. Priests have been attacked, bishop harassed, some killed. And it comes back to what he just said. They were all generic. I would have loved him to say, and this, my instincts failed me, that Father Cosmos was killed in Mamfi while he was still bishop there. Who killed Father Cosmos? It was clear that it was government forces, for instance. Even though he was not supposed to take any side, but he could have spoken the truth. There, that was an opportunity to say, we have had disturbance from both sides, the states and both those who are fighting for restoration of their statehood.
Because that is exactly what war does. There is collateral damage from both sides.
Exactly. I think Archbishop Kia would have, but knowing him, I love Bishop Kia, but I knew he would not cross that line because of the dealings he has behind the scene. So I was quite clear that he made his case in private. I think in private he would tell the Holy Father the truth, but in public he stayed as a diplomat and I in his own right. And I think I personally was disappointed, but again I was still happy that it was brought to the limelight. And if you watch how the Holy Father was moved, visibly touched, hearing that there are so many widows here, children have not gone to school, people have been killed just by this. And then came the gesture of peace with the doves, you know, which is almost like calling down the Holy Spirit to come down and for peace to reign in the land. Mm-hmm. That symbol was moving. It was good. But again, I think the role of clerics, the role of men of God is not to tell the government what to do. Based on what I know as a Catholic theologian,
you are right. We are always saying, I think the point I am making here is that why not telling the government what to do? You are yet in a position to tell a balanced story so that it helps in resolving the conflict. Because what happened today, not from the Pope, I'm telling you, I am so proud of what the Pope did beginning Monday, but from the local people, from the Archbishop to the chiefs and lay Christians who spoke at that event, I was highly disappointed because it was all slanted, one-sided narratives.
I agree with you. That was a missed opportunity. I was hoping that someone would be there from the other side to also make a case that from maybe one of our separatist leaders or Amazonia to make a case that, yes, we have had historical injustices, Holy Father, and in order for peace to reign, this peace that we are strongly advocating for, because the Holy Father himself said peace should not be a slogan. Peace Of course, sometimes it's not the absence of war. We already have war, which means the land is not peaceful. So they would have had someone to also balance that story. But again, I think, like what I was trying to learn on, the pastor's role is to build the conscience of the people. And if what Nkia spoke made any sense to the Atanganji, because I watched Atanganji's body movement, I could see guilt in him. I saw him by the Holy Father, I could see someone visibly moved by guilt. In fact, as a matter of fact, I spoke with him behind the channels.
You spoke with Atanganji?
Yeah, in private. And he was able to convey, he was very clear to me that he prayed for this thing to happen in his private time. He wanted the Holy Father to come to Cameroon at some point while he is still in active service, or while he is still serving, because he's in charge of religion and all whatnot accreditation at the level of Cameroon. So to him, this is an answered prayer. But I pressed him a little bit further, of course, was off the record, and said, sir, how about, this justice and peace that everyone is clamoring for? Because we want this land to come back to normalcy. And Chris, I am confident that Amazonia will never be the same again. The thousands of people that showed up, they were crying. I saw Christians from other denominations, Presbyterians, Pentecostal, their clergies, and everyone was visibly moved, and even some separative leaders. I personally, through my back channel, I was able to see some of them who were also part of the crowd, which shows that everyone in Cameroon, be them Amazonians, be them people from La Republique, they really want peace. The problem is that, like what I mentioned yesterday, the leaders, I don't know if they have a conscience. And if they truly have a conscience, if they are willing to spend eternity with God himself, then this is a moment of soul searching. Whether you are Tanganji, whether you are the Prime Minister, whether you are whoever you are, the Pope is a vicar of Christ. And if his presence, his message cannot move them, or Chris, I had a dream, or not a dream, I had a feeling that the Cameroonian government will remove our leaders, the Amazonian leaders in jail as a gesture to show that they are ready for peace. That was the least I was expecting that to happen like 3 days ago.
No, when you spoke with Atanganji behind the scenes, did you see any sense of remorse, any idea that these people may be having a second thought on the way they do things, like talking about the release of the prisoners that you just mentioned? Did you have any? You was not the only one in Bamenda. I saw quite a handful of them from Yaoundé and talking about the ministers. What was your discernment talking with him? Did you see any sense that things may change?
Yes, I think I must tell you this, Chris. I mean, Mr. Taganji, he is a devout Christian. He loves his faith. He loves his God. And I think he's a good man. But once you are entangled with power, once people in power or certain people he's dealing with at a certain echelon, they have a desire for something, or they have a way they want things to be, to happen. And maybe when they're entangled in some of their, I would say, brotherhood, they have certain norms that they have to keep. I think it confuses them when they are acting in the name of the government. Because Atangagi is somebody that prays every day. He loves his faith. He loves his Jesus. He supports his church. But when it comes to anything about Mr. Beer and his government, it's like there is nothing wrong with the system, and they are extremely adamant. They don't want to hurt certain people. I think with him, I'm suspecting someone like Ferdinand Gongo is someone he's trying not to hurt, or Madame Chantal Bia. So there are certain people that he cannot dare step his toes on. But he is, if you have time, you straight time to talk to him. He behind the channel, of course, you know what to go on. He is a good man. I will tell you that. That's my interaction with him.
I don't know whether I agree with your judgment. What he has done, right? To his own people.
I think the background noise is interfering, Chris.
They don't keep no, come on. Taking up people, taking ransoms, killing some, and they call them amber boys. He knows that because
unfortunately, that's
the background noise is
politics. You know, it's as good as, you know, when you are caught in an act, you know, they start trying to defend themselves. So I think it's just the status quo. They don't want the status quo to change, but I'm still very positive that after this visit to the great town, the great city of Bamenda, and for how moved the people have been, the message I would have expected Archbishop Tukia to say, to give out as well, to conclude, it's not just that those with weapons should lay down their weapons and come up, but the government as well should find a lasting solution. Because the Holy Father is a head of state, he has his own problem going on with you know, priests and religious in Rome. He has a lot of problems to solve. The Holy Father cannot solve any problem in Cameroon, but he can press some buttons and allow the people to actually do the right thing. And I am very convinced that now he has had the information first. And remember, and I say this to the credit of Archbishop Kia, during the synod on synodality that took place in Rome, that was like 2 months or 3 months before the election of
Pope Leo, yeah.
His Grace Kia spent 2 weeks with Pope Leo on the same desk. At that time, Pope Leo was a cardinal in the dicastery in charge of making bishops. So no, he would have done a lot of connection because Bishop Chia likes to handpick people in authority within the church.
Yeah.
So he would have created a with him. You know, that's upon him being elected as to the seat of Peter as a pope. It was easy for Nkia to actually lobby Rome that, okay, during his visit with all the bishops in Cameroon, extending that invitation that Holy Father come and visit. Holy Father is a good man. He's a man, he's been a missionary around the world, especially in Southern America. So it was easy to convince him to come. So what I'm saying is that to the credit of Archbishop Kia, partly that is why the Holy Father is in Cameroon.
No, I have no doubt he is 70% responsible for the Pope accepting to come to Cameroon. But let us talk about some, today's program. Tell me, who did you see from Yaoundé in Bamenda today? Talking of the ranks of the Atangis and others. Who did you see in Bamenda? I saw Philemon Yang somewhere in there. Go on.
Yeah, I saw Paul Tasson, but I was unable to talk with him. However, I spoke with someone that was close to him, but I was unable. I wanted to get his perspective on a few things. But I will say, I don't care whether people believe this or not, there is something about the faith that moves people. Everyone was visibly moved. Point out someone who said that Bangwa people are villagers and they are good living in forests.
Yeah.
You know, just because he was trying to paint a good image of, you know, why the government is attacking the BLM, blah blah. He was visibly, you could see him very pious, and I mean, I thought he was applying to become a monk the next second. You know, that was one person I saw there. Yeah. And also, the most interesting thing was the way the cassock, the dress that the Pope put over him. You know, the brand was almost. It was some kind of northwest kind of region regalia. The Grassfield General, I think they call it the Togo.
Yeah, right.
So that too was really, really good. And talking of political figures, there were a couple of other people. Yeah. There were a couple. I saw someone like Baisa Bobola, but I'm not sure. I didn't get that close to talk to him, but someone like him, I'm not quite sure. And yeah.
Okay.
I think, yep. And again, there was a problem too with the CRTV transmission. I have a lot of CRTV journalists because myself, I went to journalism school in Cameroon.
The transmission was so bad. Often, I mean, they could, all the speakers, they could barely make a statement without disruption. I guess it was internet issues, or because we were streaming it throughout. The entire event was streamed, all of it, but then it appeared was a network. Even the Vatican News that was covering their own Pope complained of the network. They could not get, at a point in time, they just had to pick the audio from the event and insert over another picture. So, and I learned that happened in Yaoundé too. When the Pope was speaking, the speech was cut off. I learned that the light or internet went off.
Yeah, I think my source in CRTV, one of my friends, journalist there, told me it was a transmission issue. And again, it comes back to the reality. Most of the things they just did in Cameroon is very cosmetic. Nothing was authentic. The Pope is coming to a country that is decaying, a country that is not making progress, be it in the economic sector, be it in the social sector, be it in promoting young people to rise up to become senators and take over the nation. No, it is a country that is actually decaying. But there's hope. There is hope, because I could, just going back to Yaoundé, watching the Pope see all these ministers from Rene Sadi to Minister of Justice, all these guys are they are octogenarians and they are in charge of taking care of the nation. I mean, my dad passed 2 years ago and he was in his 80s, and he could, you know, then I spoke when I sat with my brother, I was like, my dad, I mean, we'll try to correct him, he tell us that, so we mean he's lying. I'm like, no, Dad, because he was already, you know, going down, and his brain was also dropping. Then my brother was like, think about it. These are the kind of people that are in charge of Cameroon. Yeah. I'm not making a mockery of old people, but like, at a certain age, your brain is diminishing, and that is the brain box of Cameroon. We have people in Cameroon that can do a lot of things. The talent in Cameroon in terms of technology. If you see how many people have graduated from School of Journalism, be it in Boya or in Yaoundé, they have nothing to do. Those with accounting degrees and all whatnot, there is absolutely, when you talk to the young people, you see educated young people who love their country, but the country seems not to love them back.
Yeah. All right, comrade, listen, thank you for filling us in with what you observed there on the ground. We will talk eventually. You have a great night, sir.
You too, sir. Thank you so much, and regards to the panel. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a colleague, freelancer who went to ground zero with the Pope's delegation to cover the event, and he was giving us some insight as to what he witnessed on the ground. Sebastian Mbaraku has just joined the show. Let me bring him in. I don't know whether he has been listening to us. If you can, sir, fill us in with what you think about the speeches in Bamenda. Put the popes aside. I think it was perfect all the way from Yaoundé, but I think our disappointment is with the speeches delivered by the people that the church presented. What are your observations?
Chris, Comrade Mike, Comrade Patrick, Comrade George, thanks for the job you guys are doing to keep ABS going, running. I have been listening. I've been following everything from the start to where we are now. And I think I will go with Dr. Our doctor, what's his name again? That is on the panel.
Dr. Ngwambe?
Dr. Ngwambe, sorry, I did not acknowledge your presence. Yeah, I think I will go with what Dr. Ngwambe said. There are some things that I think the Archbishop in Kia would not come and say them outrightly because we know exactly the country we are dealing with here. I think, Comrade Chris, if you can testify, Bishop Nkia told me and you that a lot has been done in the background, and the letter, the proposal you wrote is on the table in Rome. I think that we know. So I think there are a lot of things that are being done in the background that will not be exposed. Per the Pope, I know certainly that he knows exactly what is happening in in Amazonia, and he knows what La Republic is capable of doing. So irrespective of how all those speakers were going to sugarcoat things, put things left and right, but the popes know exactly what is happening. That's why he went straight to the point. And I am not an advocate for His Excellency Bishop Nkia, but from what I know from my conversations with him, I think there are a lot of things that are going to happen after this Pope's visit. He said the Pope may not say anything, but what matters is what is going to happen after his visit. So I am a very, very optimistic person, and I think positive things are going to happen. He, at one point, anyway, I will not say that here. I understand, like I was saying, I know very well that things are going to change for everybody in Amazonia. Peace is going to come. Even the gesture of releasing prisoners, like our comrade said, I think it's going to happen. And Comrade Chris, I don't think somebody was going to come, or probably Archbishop Kia or those people that spoke, any of them were probably going to come and talk about the killings in Gabo, talk about the beheading of Amazonians. I don't think they were going to say it because of the situation back there in Amazonia and how La Republic can treat it. So even though everything was recorded, but I know the Pope knows exactly what is happening. He has our case. And Bishop Kia told me and you that he just confirming what the caller from Douala said. He spent 2 weeks sitting on the same table with the Pope. So, I mean, our case is in Rome, and they exactly know what is happening. Thank you.
Okay, let me get back to Mike Fusi. You will listen to all of that. You started with me on the same footing of this argument. After listening to the reporter on the ground, you have any different opinion?
Please. I do understand that my comrade Baraku and Dr. Wambe feel that we should give Bishop Kia some room. But I think there are ways, when you are a leader, there are ways that you can get your message out there without it coming directly from you. Because there comes a moment in a leader's period of leadership that you have an opportunity to shine. And this was a moment for Kia to shine, but he didn't do so well. He did not shine as the moment required. It was a moment for him to distinguish himself and to prove to the world that he has what it takes, the caliber of someone who could rise up to the position of a cardinal. He did not quite meet that bar. He did not. Because even if he were not to come out and make these pronouncements as we are saying here, all Bishop Kia would have done would have been to choose a balanced pool of speakers. Speakers who would give a balanced, a balanced perspective of what is happening on the ground. Not actually calling out, not directly calling out the atrocities, but how about just insisting on the message that since there are two sides to this conflict, insist that the only way to resolve this thing is for there to be dialogue or negotiation. That is a safe place where he could have stood. Just as that there should be dialogue or negotiation. And Comrade Chris, understand that at the end of the day, Pope's visit or no Pope's visit, speakers or no speakers, the responsibility of ending this conflict still lies at the feet of the Yaoundé regime. They started this conflict. They have all the tools within their disposal to end it. We have had opportunities of negotiating. They walked away. It is up to them. It is not up to the Ambazonian people to end this conflict. It is the responsibility of the Yaoundé regime to end this conflict. And that is where that's how this thing ends. It is not even the Pope's responsibility. The Pope can advise them and counsel them and say what he has to say. But at the end of the day, the buck lies at the feet of Paul Biya and his government. It is their responsibility to end this conflict. And let me just read you, let's just go over some of the things that the Pope said here. And you realize that the Pope was saying exactly what we are saying here very clearly, except for others who did not have the stamina of voicing what the Pope said. 1,600 years ago, says the Pope, St. Augustine wrote words that remain remarkably relevant today. Those who command are at the service of those who they appear to command. They do not command out of a thirst for domination, but out of a duty to provide for needs. Not out of pride to impose themselves, but out of compassion to protect. There's some background noise. From this perspective, serving one's country means dedicating oneself with a clear mind and an upright conscience to the common good of all people, the majority and their mutual harmony. That is what the Pope said. And just to read further, it's like he was speaking directly to La République du Cameroon authorities. And let me read further, please, because let's get it very clear as what the Pope said here. Today, like many other nations, your country is going through difficult times. The tensions and violence that have struck certain regions of the Northwest, Southwest, and far north have caused profound suffering. Lives lost, families displaced, children deprived of schooling, young people who see no future. Behind the statistics and faces, stories are shattered hopes. Faced with such dramatic situations, I call on humanity at the beginning of this year to reject the logic of violence and war and to embrace an armament and disarmament because it is capable of resolving conflicts, opening hearts and fostering trust, empathy, and hope. Peace cannot be reduced to a slogan. It must be embodied in a personal and institutional approach that rejects all forms of violence. I mean, when the Pope said all these things, and these government officials are sitting there listening to him, who did they think he was talking to? Was he talking to the Bayam Salams in the market? Was he talking to the bike riders who are trying to survive? Was he talking to Ambazonian resistant fighters who are simply defending themselves? No, he was talking squarely to La Republic of Cameroon and their government. That is who he was talking to. The responsibility lies on La Republic of Cameroon to end this conflict. If anyone read anything else out of this statement, I'm sorry, but that is what the Pope was saying. The Pope was saying to Paul Biya and his tired regime, solve this problem. Bring peace, and not just bring peace, but bring peace that is founded in justice. He said that several times. You cannot have peace without justice. Profound peace that is founded in justice. That is how this thing will end. And that is the way it is going to end. Whether La Republic can prolong. And the one thing that I really like about this thing is that La Republic of Cameroon thought that the Pope will come and just put a dark blanket over our case, and they will talk about peace, and they will just nobody will even mention the conflict between La Republic of Cameroon and the Southern Cameroons, and they will present themselves as angels in front of the Pope. The Pope will probably bless them and give them communion, and they will come out and say, "You see, we are not that bad. We are such nice people. You see, the Pope just gave us communion and bless us, and he didn't even talk about those terrorists who." But the Pope dished order. He kicked all that out of the way and said, "No, I came here to tell it as I should. I made a statement, several audios prior to this, the Pope's coming, and I said, I challenge the Pope to do what Jesus would do. I think the Pope rose up to that to that challenge. He did what Jesus would do. He called it as he saw it, and I'm very happy. It is a bad day for La Republic. There has been a bad 2 days for La Republic of Cameroon, and I believe it will continue in Douala. They have had it rough with the Pope's visit. All the manipulations they have tried to stage people to go there and say things that they want has not worked. The Pope's message has cut through the chase and has shown a light to say that we Ambazonians, if there was a time that Ambazonians were having any doubts as to whether the struggle had a base, we should stand up now and realize that we have a reason to fight for what we have been fighting for. We have that right. Our cause is well founded in justice, and that is all we ask. Thank you.
George, go on, please.
Well, I totally agree with our revered Dr. Ngwambe. You know, the regime spent billions for this trip, for this papal trip, you know. They thought the Pope was going to come and just follow them, you know. They did not know the Vatican had done its research already. And the Pope is just doing, as I said yesterday, we have to understand why he's called Pope Leo XIV. He chose that name because of Pope Leo XIII, who is the Pope that instituted the social justice in the church. Social justice. When people begin to question why the church is speaking in politics, because it has to do with social justice. The human beings are dying. The bishops cannot say, oh, it's not our problem. Like the Bishop Bibi said, the Bishop Boya said, what do you want us, the bishops, to do? Can we remove Pope Biya from power? We are not asking you to remove Pope Biya from power. We are asking you to tell the truth. You guys have the moral authority. That's what it means to be a bishop. And I keep talking, I keep reiterating what our revered and venerable Archbishop Paul Metekov, he is the very first English-speaking bishop in Cameroon. But our bishops are not following his footsteps. I expected Archbishop Kia today to speak exactly as Pope Leo spoke yesterday at the presidency. He did not. You know, Pope Leo called a spade, and Kia did not do it today. It's not correct.
To Rome.
But let me ask you all this question though. I mean, sometimes as we want Nkia to be very bold, I don't refuse that. But for him to speak the same way, like the American citizen who is the Pope, who is protected by the mighty America, that if you kill this Pope, America will have a problem. And Nkia is a Cameroon
We've had Cardinal Toumi.
Who's going to wake up and defend Nkia now? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get it. But sometimes people have to balance the environment that they're in,
We,
and they speak
we've
accordingly.
had Cardinal Toomey. Was Cardinal Toomey killed by anybody?
No,
They cannot.
Don't bring it to me, please. Don't bring it
No,
to
he's
me.
a cardinal. He's a bishop. They are all bishops.
Mr. George, what Tongwambe is saying is very serious. The Pope
No.
is here and he's going back to Rome. Dr. Archbishop Kia is staying back. Sorry, guys, when we were talking, when it was going on, I'm sorry, I don't know if my audio was out there. I was talking, I called Archbishop Kia. I told him I was on the show, and he said at any time, if Comrade Chris want him to come, he is going to come, and like he's always coming, he's going to come. And he bluntly said what happened in Bamenda today has never happened. And he said it is that we should take one step at a time. That peace has already gone 90%. We have just 10% left. That's what he told me.
That's not what we want. We want justice. You guys keep talking about peace.
We want justice.
Don't mind all that.
We want justice.
Mr. George,
What is this peace?
That is what is killing us, because we want everything to be spoken out. That's what he's told us. I think and Chris, he said it is not everything that we're just going to come and voice out. They are living. They are living in very difficult situations. It is not everything that they will come and say it. Our struggle has gone. No, our struggle has had a lot of issues because we always want people to come and talk. You see, Chiroma failed because we wanted Chiroma to come and say, "Oh, just say I'm blowing the only tomorrow. I'm doing this." No, it doesn't happen like that. There are things that are cooking in the background. This guy confessed to us that he is a man of God. Forget that thing that they say he's a politician. He sees everything that is happening. He is seen. He talks to the people. His church people talk to him every day. They tell him, "Bishop, we are dying. What are you doing?" He will not just come and in front of the camera and say, "Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing." No, he is religiously political. If you can understand,
religiously political. Political. No, that's a contradiction. Once you're brilliant, you're either brilliant or you're not.
George, if you know the history of the Catholic Church, you will know those guys are politicians. You know the kinds of
I know the history of the Catholic Church, and we've had bishops who've given up their lives for the people. We've had bishops.
And they've also killed each other in order to keep that
if he gives his life, the whole of Amazonia is gone. Trust me.
No.
Dr. Kwame, like, what I think is this: there comes a position that you rise to as a leader like Bishop Kia, where you understand that you become untouchable. I think at this point, Bishop Kia has risen to that position of being someone who cannot be touched. I believe that. I don't think that La Republic, as crazy as they may be, will go and touch Nkia for any reason whatsoever. And as I mentioned earlier, it was up to him simply to select individuals who will give some kind of a balanced presentation of what has happened and is happening on the ground without it coming from him. If he did that, we will not blame him that he did not come from him. That is all he needed to do. Let me finish. Let me finish, please. Let me finish now. Let me finish. One other thing is this: we have our prisoners in our brothers in the prisons of La Republic of Cameroon. What was so hard if Kia had pressed on the Pope to insist on seeing some of our prisoners like Sisiko, Mancho, Abdul Karim, or others that would like these people? If Kia had insisted that to the Pope that you can, not coming from Kia but from the Pope, nobody will go and blame Kia. Why are you asking? It will be the Pope asking. If he had pressed it on Pope that you should insist on seeing some of these people, I think the Pope would have done it, and those people would have been sent. That is how you play the politics without putting yourself at risk.
Comrade,
what are you saying now, comrades?
I think when that route was very, very political, and are you sure he did not ask? Again, let me be clear with you. If you read, I know you read it. You read Comrade Chris's write-up. Do you know that thing is in front of the Pope? As I speak, it is in front of the Pope. The proposals, Comrade Chris, apart from that, there are a lot of letters that were written by Catholic women, a lot of groups that wrote those letters. All those letters are in front of the Pope. Even Abdul Karim's letter is in front of the Pope. So it is not everything that they will come out. You know, like Republic, you know the country you hail from. You know, so they will not let things like that happen.
Comrade, symbolisms matter. Symbolisms matter. The visual. If we had seen the visual of the Pope meeting our prisoners in their jails, that sends a completely different message from a letter being at the Pope's table. It sends a message that, look, we recognize these people. They are not terrorists. They are people to be talked. They are people to negotiate with. That is the message we wanted to see.
All right.
One point that we are really making here, we are all trying to make the same point, but one thing that is very clear, we understand Archbishop Kia is doing something that in most cases, you have to work like a mediator. Archbishop Kia, if he speaks as if he is taking the side, like we are expecting here, of the Amazonians, La Republic, knowing who they are, they might come up, and even if the Vatican want to step in and do something, they will say, no, the Vatican is already taking sides, and they will not want to talk to the Vatican. The Vatican is not like America, where they will say, we'll use our military to enforce certain things that we expect from a country. We need to start looking at it in that direction. Archbishop Kia, whatever he says, he is putting points that will still give him the leverage to talk to both sides of the equation. Right. So we should not just look at things in that direction.
Comrade, I think some of you are getting the point wrong. We are not by any means suggesting that Bishop K would have told the bishop or told Yaoundé what to do, what they can do, what should be done. We are saying that the people they picked to speak for Ambazonia, it wasn't balanced. Why not brought in some women whose homes were broken into and destroyed by the army without calling somebody?
Comrade Chris, you know that will not happen, right? That will not happen, Comrade Chris. That will not happen because...
Chris, even you pointed out that the speeches were already prepared, because there was a section in there where the Pope said, as the Imam said, let us thank God that this crisis is not DG. So they already knew the things would have said. So if that is the case, even the Pope himself could have pressed that, select someone who can speak on the Ambazonian behalf, and I'll protect that person. If anything happens to that person, I will cover them. Why didn't the Pope do that? Because he knows the reality of the situation. He knows. He knows the reality of the people that he
has a question. Something that happened. No. Chris, sorry, Mr. George. Do you know who the Pope had private meetings in Bamenda with some selected individuals? Do you know those meetings were behind? They were behind closed doors, no cameras, no audience. Do you know who those people were? We don't know them. We don't know what they say. It is not everything that is going to come in the media that Comrade Chris, I think somebody told you that they were going to take you to Rome to go meet the Pope and tell them what you want, right? And you are working on that. So it is not everything that they will come, and they will not bring Ambazonians to come and talk about what is happening in the media.
I really wanted to manage the kind of information we present here. There's a lot of things that people have come out and said that people would have clouded.
Chris, you'll go there, you will tell the things to the Pope by yourself. You know what is going to happen. So most of these things.
Sebastian, I think when we are discussing, there are certain things, let's leave them behind the scene, because even if certain things are going to happen in any way, we can know it and we'll keep it aside. But let me make one point here. We are talking about the Pope's visit, and we have gotten to so many different debate topics here. But one thing that I would say, the La Republic government worked in collaboration with the Catholic Church, with the clergies in Cameroon, to bring the Pope to Cameroon.
Correct.
And whoever was going to speak there was going to have some kind of understanding between the two parties. It was never going to be Archbishop Kia alone deciding this is who is going to speak, and La Republic ministers sitting there without having an input. But one thing that we do not get is, I think maybe La Republic accepted to make this invitation, thinking that when the Pope gets to Bamenda, the Ambazonians will create chaos where they can enforce the label that Ambazonians are terrorists, so that they can all see how they can make the Ambazonian revolution die by arresting those who are supporting it or other Amazonian separatists. But unfortunately, Amazonians were smart enough to come up with a plan that we are going to call a ceasefire for the 3 days that the Pope is going to be in the territory, which took La Republique by surprise. That is why some of these things we have to start thinking, what is La Republique thinking? Why is it that Amazonia is getting smarter than what it was years ago? Because if it was a few years ago, maybe they would have called for a lockdown, they would have called for it just to disrupt the Pope's visit. But Amazonians took steps which are demonstrating that both Amazonia is getting mature enough to get into the same table as a nation like America and other countries that can make decisions that are binding and everybody's going to listen to it. The other part, the one thing that the Pope also
Comrade,
said.
let's hold it there. Let's hold it there. Time is not on our side. I want to briefly open the phone lines so our listeners can call in. Some are trying to call already, but I can't pick because the phone line wasn't open. So the phone line is now open, and if you want to call in and contribute, please go ahead and do so. We're going to continue. We're going to be having this discussion through Saturday, comrades. So don't be worried about that. We have enough time to do justice to it. But for now, let's see if our listeners out there have some contribution to make. The phone line is open. It's there on your screen. And go ahead and call. Let's get to this caller here. Hello.
Yes, hello. Good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you? You're calling from Texas, right?
I'm calling from Texas, yeah. And what a panel you have.
Thank you.
So we have, there is this issue, people saying that we don't know what is going on in the background. I think at some point we're tired of hearing all this. These are things which they're not binding, let's not try to be overly defensive,
Yeah.
We all grew up hearing. I know we understand. We talk about Cameroon being a lion's den. But that, I don't think there was a wilder lion's den than the apartheid regime in South Africa. Even though some may argue that, I agree with when someone says that Archbishop Kia has risen to a level where, they cannot just mess with him. And I agree with that argument, because it's not just about peace. Like we all know, this thing is not just about peace, it's about justice. There is no peace without justice, because most of what he said was driven in that direction of just peace, right?
Yeah.
Now, so that is one thing. So I think he could have said more. I understand the kind of country the kind of country that Cameroon is. But also, I want to ask you or anyone in the panel, when the Pope said that the world is, what did he say? That the world is governed by a handful of tyrants. What did you make of that? Do you think he was referring to tyrants in Yaoundé, or because also watching BBC, and some people think he was directing that to Donald Trump?
Well, I listened to that, and again, just as you said, I read AP, I read Reuters, BBC, and I think even CNN, and they were saying, "Oh, he was directing that to Donald Trump. He was directing that to Donald Trump." But look at Cameroon. Who are those fueling the conflict in Cameroon? The French.
Right.
They are the ones benefiting from the resources.
Right.
So that's a problem with the international media. They slant story to fit their own narrative.
Yeah.
So
That's
Cameroon
the
has
problem.
nothing to do with what the Pope said. It all has to do with the beef between the Pope and Donald Trump. Whereas we know for sure that this war is being pushed by the French because they see us as a milking cow.
Right.
But he said that the Pope said that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Comrade
the
Chris.
phone line is open. Go ahead and call, ladies and gentlemen. I will have a few more minutes for a few more calls, so go ahead and call.
The
This
funny thing is
is
that it's the Americans who wanted every nation or every set
the
of peoples to
Honorable
have their
Sama
own
Thomas.
sovereign
Hello,
independence.
sir.
The Europeans blocked all that
Hello.
stuff. The Americans forced it after World War II.
The program is
World
very
War I.
interesting. But what I wanted to add about my reaction to what Bishop Kea did today is that we were expecting, or I was expecting, like any other Southern Cameroon, I was expecting Bishop Kea to tell the Pope who is the one killing Southern Cameroonians in the entire Southern Cameroons. But Bishop Kea, in his speech or homily, refused to let the Pope know that the people of the Southern Cameroons are killed by La Republic occupational soldiers in the Southern Cameroons. If Bishop Kea fails to do that, when is he going to pass that message to the Pope in a secret note order? Or you pay transport to go to Rome to go and give that information there? Or when is he going to do it? That is our annoyance with his presentation to the Pope. And a person of his caliber is not supposed to be afraid to tell the Pope who is committing crime in the Southern Cameroon.
Let me ask you. Do
You are right to
think
voice that
if
frustration, though.
he had to do that, then you have to wait until the Pope comes to Cameroon for him to say that when he is meeting the Pope at any moment? He's just a phone call from the Pope.
Just a phone call.
Exactly. Well, Chris, at times you need to tell the people what you've been doing behind the scene. For if you keep on doing it behind the scene and the people are not feeling the impact of what you are doing, then they will never believe that you've done anything to get them.
You tell them, they will
All
take
right.
it out
Thank
there.
you. Thank you for the call. Let's get to the other calls here. Hello.
No.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, please?
Morning. I'm calling from Yaoundé.
Okay. And what is on your mind, sir?
Yes, I just want to greet you and to encourage you, salute you and your panel for the wonderful job you people have been doing. Concerning the Pope visit in Cameroon, I think what most of your panels are saying, Archbishop Kea spoke diplomatically. We are in the country, we know everything that is going on. And I believe that a lot of things have been said at the background with the Pope. And a lot of things, before Pope Leo coming to Cameroon, he had an idea. He had the real picture of everything that is going on in this country. And that is why you see, Nkea can say, cannot say everything in front of the people, in front of the government ministers. But now, a lot of things, when a background is already prepared, no need to release the rest. Because Pope know exactly what he's going to do. And many things, like one of your panel said, there was a lot of private meetings that took place in Bamenda. Behind the camera, that's behind the camera, Wicklow, that nobody knew. And we don't know what these people discussed. So I think not everything should be exposed.
All right.
When everything is being exposed, our weaknesses are also exposed, and then the enemy can use it to attack us. So I believe that everything before the Pope coming to Cameroon, everything was said. And even if you see the speech that the Pope made at the presidency yesterday, it was so the ministers were cold. I mean, they were inside the fridge because he heated the meal on the button, and there was no way they could argue. So I believe everything was said and done.
All right. Is that the feeling you have on the ground too with the people you talk to?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Well.
Oh, I lost that caller. All right. Again, the phone line remains open. Go ahead and call. Let's see who is this. Hello.
Comrade Chris.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, sir. What is on your mind?
Yeah, I'm listening to your panel, and you guys are doing a great job. I just want to make a comment. I just want to say that I know we are so desperate that every time we see anything we are ready to fall for. We have to take our destiny in our hands. These Westerners, there is a conspiracy. Before the Pope left Rome, why did Macron went to Rome, right, to the Vatican, a few days before he left?
Yes.
Why do we think that he went there for? He's already, all those speeches are scripted. Those speeches, the same thing. How can two of them talk about the crisis without mentioning one? They didn't talk about the prisoners. They didn't know, at no point, none of them mentioned the prisoners. So these things are scripted. I didn't expect anything from them. So if they have to, the Pope knows everything that is happening in Cameroon. The Pope, they are smart people. They speak how many languages? So they know everything. They don't have to come here and tell us. If they want, who is funding his trip? Is it the Catholic Church? No. La Republic is funding his trip. Cost them how many? Over 20 billion. I don't even know how many million is costing them. So you think he will come there and challenge them?
Plus the tarring of the roads in Bamenda.
Exactly. So let's not. We have to take our destinies now. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. All right, gentlemen. While I wait for you hold on there. You hold on there again. Let's see. I think this is ground zero. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from ground zero.
Okay, what is on your mind? Briefly, please. 50 seconds.
Okay, very briefly in seconds. I was in Big Mancon Cathedral. We're going on. We, the Catholic, I am a Catholic, we were disappointed with the Archbishop of Bamenda on his speech. When you heard the Imam from Buya, he made mentions of those who were killed in Gambo.
Yeah.
He made mention of the Muslims that they were killed.
Right.
If you listen to the IDP that they brought, he made mention those were killed. He said the separatists were, and the police the army were busy burning houses. You heard what the representative of the Presbyterian Church said, but if you got the speech of Nkia, he never made mention of all the reverend fathers who have been killed by the army. The reverend sister came, he was talking about her mother, who died some 2 days ago. He never made mention of any sister who have been kidnapped or killed. So if you heard what Nkia was saying, Nkia have taken side, is working with the government. Thank you very much. We are disappointed with Nkia. Nkia is not with us. Thank you very much.
All right.
That's a big lie.
Thank you.
That's a big lie.
Gentlemen, let me give you 50 seconds each to conclude this. Is Nkia with you or will I have a play?
No, he is not. Do you want to go with me, Comrade
Let me
Chris?
start with Mike Fusi.
Yes, Comrade Chris. I already made my point there, but I just want to highlight one more statement here from the Pope. We are living in a time when resignation is spreading, and a feeling of powerlessness tends to be.
Mike, please, you hang on. I would really like to take this call from ground zero. Hold on, please.
Okay. All right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you turn down the volume of your television and focus on the phone, please? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Bamenda.
Bamenda. Okay. What is on your mind, sir? 50 seconds. We're out of time.
Yes, Comrade Chris, I'm very happy to greet the panelists there. I, for one, I'm really very, very disappointed. We have seen crisis being managed by other fellow clergymen in other countries like Desmond Tutu, who were very, very, very vocal speakers. To be very brief, Inkia has passed that level. He's somebody who has all the immunity and nothing can be done to him. We know that before the Pope came, he had been informed. He came with a panacea already, but what we could have expected was that Inkia could have brought the ideas of the detainees. I was very, very disappointed when I never heard something about the Ayub Tabes or the detainees in the prison. I never heard something from all the calamity done by the army and all these recommendations. And sometimes when you say work is being done at the background, you must make your compatriots to know what you are doing at the background, because when you fight from the background and you don't inform your people, your people get confused and all the work in the background becomes useless because people are expecting more. You know, people like Kia, if he doesn't come out of Kia mouth, then from who else? That was the last hope of the people. And we can only but thank the Pope. We know so many things will be said behind camera, but all those things we will not know.
All right.
The recommendation that could have come from Kia will not come but from the Pope, because the people look more of Kia, who is in the field, than the Pope. The Pope is going, and from here, we don't know. I think the thing will just die down like this.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe Bishop Kia just wanted the Pope to do it and take all the fire and go away with it, because nobody will do him anything. Nobody will question him. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. It's Mr. Collins, and I'm calling from Quen.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, sir?
I am calling from Cameroon, Yaoundé.
Yaoundé. And what is on your mind? You have 50 seconds.
Okay, thank you. We have seen the Pope come and leave here and leave Bamenda. I think all did out a particular message. Is a priest, and we know the church has a role to play in the society as a church, and in the society, in the political affair of the society. The Pope did not just come to Cameroon to sort out the Anglophone problem, or it was not his coming. Before coming to Cameroon, he knew already what is on the ground. He did not just get what he got for the first time. So it was not necessary for people to be narrating how many soldiers have been killed, how many Amazonians have been killed. That is not what is going to solve the problem. The Pope already knows our cry. What we are looking for is the way forward. It's the way forward and not the past, because all things are passed away. So we should be looking at the forward. We should be looking at what we are hoping for, which is that peace and justice. So all those speeches is not what really matters, because I know strongly, as we all do, that the Pope already knows the core of the matter, and it has been touched from his speeches. It means he knows what he came for. So I think we should be hopeful and believing that his coming and going will heal a lot of fruit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. All right, gentlemen, we're not taking any other call. I give you 50 seconds each to make your round-up point, and we'll call it a night. So let me start again with Mike Fusi, sir. Exactly 50 seconds.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Chris. I'll try to be brief. I was saying an excerpt from the Pope's speech. We are living in a time when resignation is spreading and a feeling of powerlessness tends to paralyze the renewal that people deeply feel. How much hunger and thirst for justice, how much thirst for participation, for visions, for courageous choices, and for peace. My greatest desire is to touch the heart of each person, especially young people who are called to shape, including in the political sphere, a more just world. Comrade Chris, this message again was a stab at the government of La Republic of Cameroon sitting there. How many youth in that country are participating in shaping the future of that country? You have sitting ancestors who are in charge of that country, but he is telling them that the youth are supposed to have a role to play in shaping the future of that country. That was another stab at them. Let me make my last statement here. At the end of the day, as I said previously, the Pope will say what he has to say. Bishop Kia and whoever else that spoke during this visit will speak. At the end of the day, Comrade Chris, the responsibility of ending the conflict lies at the feet of the government of La Republic of Cameroon. But how this conflict ends is the responsibility of us Ambazonians. We cannot absolve ourselves of our own role in determining how this conflict ends. It is the responsibility of La Republic of Cameroon, but we have a role in determining how this conflict ends. And it entails the participation of each and every one of us playing our own roles to make sure that this conflict ends with justice for the people of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. Thank you.
Thank you. Patrick, please.
Okay, thank you, Comrade Chris, and thank you to my panelists. I just want to end with one thing that I got from the Pope's message today. Here's something in the regard of most of these leaders, they use the money that they sell the minerals of the people to buy guns to kill people with. And that message went as long as saying that when they kill people and destroy property, they do not have enough money to rebuild. That is something that the Pope said in Bamenda today. So that message was just going straight to the ministers who were sitting there. How much money is the Cameroon government using to kill Cameroonians? Do they have enough money? Just recently, they canceled a lot of contracts because they say the government doesn't have money. So they are using money to kill their own people, but they don't have money to rebuild. So what does it make any sense to the ministers and all those people? And one thing that is we are not even so interested in it is I saw Chiruma appointing a group of people all over the world today as leaders of the diaspora communities and all that stuff. I don't know if I even got that list somewhere, but this is going to tell you with Chiruma signing a decree appointing people, that is going to be sending a shockwave to La Republique because right now La Republique is so vulnerable with what they don't even know what direction they are going to take because they don't know what the plan is with Chiruma planning to come back to that country. But as he said, the fight is going to be La Republique deciding when to stop the fight and we deciding how the fight stops.
All right. Thank you. That the issue of Chiruma, we're going to look into that possibly on Monday. Sebastian, please. Please, let's keep it short.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Mike. Dr. Ngwambe and George, thank you all for being on this panel with me. One thing I got from the news, the guy that was responding from Catholic News or something, he said the Ambazonian leaders have given a 2-day suspension, like a 2 days ceasefire just because of the coming of the Pope. So
3 days.
Yes, so I think 3 days. No, he actually said 2 days, but we gave 3 days. So this is to prove that everything that is happening, they know. This is a white guy that flew in and he knows exactly what is happening. They know from the bottom of their mind that the war is still ongoing. So no matter what or how La Republic try to cover it, they know that it is not the same. like the Bamenda scene is not a Bamenda that it has been for the past 8 years. Again, I want to plead with you and with Ambazonians that we should have some degree of patience and wait. We have been waiting. We are just now like people that are drowning. When you are drowning, even if you see a snake, you cling to it to maybe to survive. Let us give Archbishop Kia and the Catholic Church a chance to see if they are going to prove to us or give us the peace Ambazonians want. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Ngwembe, please.
Yes, Comrade Chris, thank you for having us on the show today. Thank you to my other brothers, Comrade Sebastian, Comrade George, Tom Mike, and my brother, Comrade Patrick. It was great seeing you all today and for us having this discussion. So, we want to let the Pope know that Ambazonians have always respected the international community, but it's unfortunate that, as our senior brother Carson Anyangwe wrote in his book, there are people in the international community who betrayed Ambazonia, because Ambazonia, we wanted independence. And that is even what the Archbishops of Ambazonian descent wrote inside their write-up back in 2016, that the most popular choice for Ambazonians back then and even now was for us to be a sovereign and independent nation separate from La République du Cameroon. But countries like France and Britain, they played their mago-mago game and they disrupted that. So when people are pointing fingers at Donald Trump and all this other stuff like that, people need to recognize that it's the Americans who wanted that people who are being colonized by these Western Europeans should have their sovereignty and they should have their sovereign nations. It's the Americans who pushed this. So if Macron is going to talk to the American Pope and is putting any kind of nonsense in his head, let this American Pope know that it is the American presidents who have stood on the rights of to self-determination and independence for the peoples who have been colonized by the Western Europeans. I want to end by saying that, taken from what Pope Leo said today, this is applying to all Ambazonians as a way forward. And I'm paraphrasing, he said, cherish Ambazonians, cherish all the shared moments that have brought you together in these times of sorrow. That's what we Ambazonians to do. And lastly, he also said, let us move forward courageously without losing heart, and above all, together, always together. My fellow Ambazonians, our liberation and our freedom will be achieved by all of us working together and doing it together. God bless the people of Amazonia. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. George, please.
Yes, yesterday after our meeting, a friend of mine sent me a text, and I'm going to read it. I quote, "Those panelists are clowns. How can you be an advocate for justice, but you endorse an archbishop who accepts stolen money from the government? When elections are rigged, Nkia says nothing." I'm just reading exactly what was sent to me yesterday. And I would like to relate it to what happened today in the cathedral. We need an archbishop who is vocal, like Cardinal Christian to me, who does not play with politics, who is not recipient today, taking things from the government to refurbish his cathedral. Because when you do that, you prevent yourself from being an independent speaker, as Archbishop Paul Vetekov was. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. We are not here to indict him. We are not here to put everything on him. We are here to point out what we think he would have done. But
he is the president of the Episcopal Conference.
That is true, but he doesn't take certain decisions. He can be vociferous, but cannot take certain decisions. So we leave it there. We leave it there. The Pope will be leaving on Saturday. We are waiting to see what the Vatican comes up with after he leaves. I think that is the appropriate time to judge Archbishop Nkia to what he has done, or the relationship, what he has told the Vatican all these years. All right, gentlemen, thank you for being part of the broadcast today. We look forward to having you back again. In the meantime, Saturday, we're going to be having a very special show on Saturday. I don't do shows on Saturday, but this Saturday, beginning at 7 p.m. Amber time, 7 p.m. Amber time. That is 1 p.m. Texas time. And 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be having a very special show still on this subject, because by Saturday the Pope would have left Cameroon for his next destination, which I believe is Angola. So thank you for tuning in, and please, I want to make an appeal to you. Please, if you appreciate what we do here, I am asking you to support ABS with a donation that can help us keep it on satellite, keep Ground Zero watching and being educated to what is going on. The phone number on your screen is good for Cash App, is good for Zelle. Please do not hesitate to do so, because we really do need that support to stay on satellite. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless you. I look forward to coming back again on the
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Exactly. Thank you.
You be one mama, one mama, oh, oh, oh. Come on, come on, come on, let's do it now. My Bamenda, my fine baby, my Bamenda, my sweet mama. Let me tell you something about this, my sweet mama. The only woman who give it me to grow and make me a man. Thank you, for the love you showed me. Without you, my Bamenda, I nobody existed. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. Some people say you too small to change a country. Others say you're not big good for make things work. But just a name in this country, people them they shiver. The way we are picking them, they also people them they wonder. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. My brothers and sisters all over the world, whatever you do, always think about your home. It's a place where you will come back some days. Let's clean it up, let's build it up. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you said for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda, my fine baby. My Bamenda, my sweet mama. All the hard-working sons and daughters of this great northwest region of Cameroon, I want you to stand up and dance, because the time has come when we have to put our heads and hands together in order to build this our lovely and only region. you, you are rich, I am proud of you, you are strong,